fake news, a little bit of fake news, propaganda, because you know that they got a lot of propaganda going on, right? What are some of the 10 biggest lies that are told about Bitcoin? Bitcoin funds terrorism. Well, we'll start with the most asinine assertion here. Obviously, we don't have to start with the terrorism, okay? Although the entries in this list are pretty dumb, this is probably has to be the dumbest one, right? Funding terrorism. Terrorists and terrorist sympathizers, if you want to blame the crypto, try the US dollar, which has been used to fund more wars and proxy wars and bombings and hijackings and insurgencies than any other currency in the world. In fact, in 2016, Europol found no evidence that terrorists were using cryptocurrencies to fund their activities. It's not to say that it hasn't happened and won't happen, but it's telling you, however, that only the people linking Bitcoin to terrorism are the government seeking to crack down on the digital currency. If the major terrorist attack funded by Bitcoin were to occur, we'd never hear the end of it. But yeah, they will talk about it regardless. Next, one of my favorites, the bubble. Bitcoin is a bubble. We hear about the bubble, the bubble, the bubble. It's not a bubble. It's the pen that will pop the bubble. I mean, where do we even start with this one? It's not a bubble. It's not going to come crashing down to earth. It's certainly not going to return to zero. I mean, heck, if you could all help me bring it down to zero, it would be nice because I'd right back to the moon again. I take it back. I got too much more for it to be going back down to zero. I'd be having a heart attack here. But we've long passed the point of no return to zero. It's not going to happen, okay? But that won't stop the B word from being trotted around every time Bitcoin sheds another $1,000 or $2,000 to the upside. Now, there's going to be corrections along the way. There's no asset that we've ever seen in history that's just ascended straight to the moon like a rocket. I mean, Bitcoin's the only thing close or closest to being almost that straight line to the moon. But it's not about the pop. It's not a bubble at 3,000. It wasn't a bubble at 5,000. Wasn't at 10. And it sure is heck ain't a bubble at 19,000, baby. 19,000 and climbing. It still won't be next week, even though they're going to keep on posting more and more about it being a bubble. What about it's volatile? Bitcoin is volatile. For those who don't like to relish in the risk, hey, go put your money in the piggy bank. But obviously, it's not as volatile as some of the other things that we've seen. It's certainly less exciting asset to invest. There are certainly less exciting assets to invest in. But nevertheless, the notion that it's volatile needs to be kind of tamed a bit here because it's misguided. Obviously, the media is pumping that. So hugely respected crypto experts would agree with me that Bitcoin's volatility is now lower than Twitter stock, okay? Now, there's still roller coaster days, but for the most part, its currency has gotten, the digital currency has gotten blissfully calm relative to the Twitter stock, which has a 3.79% volatility on average per day. Bitcoin's got 2.68% average volatility, which is at par value, and the same as crude oil's volatility, which is volatile. But if you understand volatility, we need it as traders. Bitcoin is a tulip bubble. Now let's just stop. Let's stop there, okay? I personally don't like tulips. I like Bitcoins. I like gold. I like holding assets. I use fiat. Don't really like it too much, but I use it. I would rather have fiat than some tulip. I'll tell you that much. Tulip is perishable. It's not a medium of exchange for that matter. But for those of you that wonder why I keep talking about tulip here, there was a tulip bubble or a tulip mania, and it swept the 17th century Holland. All you got to do is go into the search engine and it'll give you the backstory. But the craze, it culminated the price of a particular bulb reaching 4,600 florins. From there, the only thing it could do was crash. But the thing is, there is no real intrinsic value behind, the rubbish commodity. Now, just like seashells, pretty stones, or anything else, unless you have a bidder or someone who wants them, they're only worth it what someone's willing to pay for them. Now, Bitcoins, on the other hand, they're easy to divide. They're imperishable. They're easy to transport. They're a lot scarcer than tulips, and it allows you to be able to transfer value immediately without third-party intervention. Okay. Now, how about Bitcoin's mostly used for illegal purposes? Dollars are used for illegal purposes too. I believe that there are more dollars used for illegal purposes than any other fiat currency in the world. As a matter of fact, HSBC sends boxes to the Mexican cartel for money that's laundered through HSBC. And you think they're stopping, or when they know, or if they were to find out it came from the Mexican cartel? No, they're going to continue to collect that money, that check. In fact, recently there's an auction. I believe the Feds are doing an auction for Bitcoin, seized Bitcoin. Why? Because it has value. So they can talk about it as junk and crap all they want, but it has value because there are bidders. There's demand for it. Okay. And another funny one. Before I move on, in 2013, yes, we had Silk Road, and or early back then there was a lot of different websites and different mediums that were using Bitcoin for illegal means. When Bitcoin wasn't popular, yes, it was mainly used for illegal purposes. But now Bitcoin is used for mainly speculation as well as a medium of exchange. And I would like you to write this note down. Write this down. Okay. I hold Bitcoin. I hold altcoins. I hold most of my portfolio in gold and crypto. I use fiat for an immediate medium of exchange. That's it. In fact, people stop thinking I'm broke now because Bitcoin's jumping out the gym. I've been stopped holding US dollars. It takes me 24 to 40, or it used to take me 24 to 48 hours to convert my Bitcoin to fiat. Now I can do it in 5 minutes, and I'll show you how. As more developments are discovered, we're able to get liquid faster. But there was a joke about Bitcoin millionaires in the past where, hey, I'm worth $1 million or so plus in Bitcoin, but I can't even buy a coffee. Now those days are over, baby. I'm buying the whole Starbucks. For the love of money. And they say Bitcoin's a Ponzi scheme. No. That's not true. There are certain coins that have a multi-level marketing kind of structure, but Bitcoin does not pay you for referring people to Bitcoin. If you go buy Bitcoin today because of my recommendation, I make nothing off you buying Bitcoin, except the fact that its price rises as more liquidity comes in the market. Next is Bitcoin can be hacked. They talk about Bitcoin being hacked. This is really funny to me because, yes, you can hack a wallet that is on a exchange that is weak, so to speak. You can hack a particular wallet that is, has weak two-step security factors on it, as well as someone who's public with their key codes and information. I will show you different ways that you can protect your wealth with Bitcoin. I usually use a third-party wallet to send and receive things to before I send it to where most of my coins are stored. That way I'm not using my actual address direct interface with the public, okay? But yeah, that's that. Now Bitcoin's a fad. That's another one out there. No. We know that it wasn't a fad when it went and went past the price of gold and kept climbing, as well as when it dipped and seen all of its gains and then some, come climbing back on the board. And then last but not least, Bitcoin uses exorbitant amounts of energy. And this is the most funniest one of all. They said one Bitcoin mining transaction takes the same amount of energy that it takes to power 9 homes. This is malarkey. Man, but they'll say anything. They will say anything. So obviously, you know me. I'll tell you, like I always said when I was up on the stage, I'll say it here, behind the mic, don't believe the hype, okay? So Bitcoin too far, too fast, Bitcoin bubble forming,